Hi everyone, I'd like to look at a couple of these MyOpen Math problems. If you look in homework 2.1 question 8, you can see they give you a histogram and they ask you to estimate the mean of the distribution, but you're not given any other information. And then if you look at homework 2.2 question 9, they ask you to estimate the standard deviation of the distribution, and if you notice, it is the exact same distribution. So I have an example, a similar problem here in Excel. So if you look at this, I have a bunch of x values here. I put quite a lot of them over 100. And then I just made a histogram here. You can see I used a bin width or a class width of 5. So this means 10 to 15, including 15. Anything bigger than 15 up to 20, and so on. It just goes by 5s, nice round number. So if we're estimating the mean of this distribution, you can use the fact that when you look at a histogram, the mean is the balancing point of the histogram. So if you imagine cutting this thing out of a block of wood and then trying to balance it on your finger, where exactly would it balance? Well, not down here, it would tip this way, and if you tried to balance it up here, it would tip that way. So you kind of think about it and you're like, well, somewhere right around in here, maybe around 20 or maybe a little more. So you might think, oh, it's probably going to balance around 20 or 21. And in fact, if you look, I calculate the mean is actually 20.9, so somewhere right around in here. Then if you want to get the standard deviation, you could try to do the calculations, but it's just kind of a pain. You can use the fact that the standard deviation is sort of the average distance from the mean. So you look at this, you say, how far are these values from the mean? Well, if you look way up here, your highest value is somewhere between 35 and 40, and that's like 14 to 19 units from the mean. Some of them are down here, which 10 to 15 is like, I don't know, 10.9 to something less from the mean. But most of them are within a few units of the mean. So if you kind of think like on average, your mean is here. Most of them are sort of within this distance, within, say, 5 to 8 units. So maybe you just guessed. You say, okay, maybe most of these are within like an average of 7 units from the mean. If I check my standard deviation, it was 5.3. So I'm a little bit off. But that's okay. As long as you're within 1 unit on the MyOpen Math question, you're right. So if I guess 7, I was wrong. Maybe I guessed 6. And then if I guess 6, that's within 1 unit of 5.3. So I'd mark it right, and you still get full credit. Hopefully that is helpful.